Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today's video is actually like a blast from the past. This is about meditation and mindfulness. I decided to re-edit this video that I recorded I think the first year that COVID really came down, and we were on lockdown, so I decided to do a little exercise that's about an hour long, a little bit there. This should be a still exercise for you. So when you start, be in your own space, have some music going, whatever helps you meditate, whatever's going to help you relax. Get it started, because we're about to get going. Few minutes, we're just going to breathe to get used to our body's rhythm while it's listening to the music to calm down. So any type of regular crisscross applesauce pose if you can. The goal is to have your back straight. So when you breathe in and out, you're not constricting yourself. Preferably without the mask, but I'm gonna wear one to show you guys. So you just take a deep breath in your nose. Hold it for as long as you think you can without straining. We do not want to strain ourselves. And then release it whenever you feel comfortable and repeat. For a good, we're gonna go 2 minutes right now. Try focusing solely on your breath, so you're not letting your mind wander off into things that you're always stressed about or always thinking about. We're trying to make sure that this is a safe place for our brains, because we don't usually give a lot of relaxation for our brains. We're thinking all the time. We're doing things all the time. So this is a time for you to just breathe, guys. And as you breathe, there's a few different breathing techniques that you can use. You can breathe in your mouth and out your nose. You can breathe in your nose and out of your mouth. Or you can breathe in your nose and out your nose. Remember to keep your back straight. It's easier to breathe from your diaphragm that way, and not just in and out your lungs as normal. We're trying to get more air into the body so it can then sit on it, and you push it out, and it causes relaxation from breathing out. So your diaphragm is right here. You know you're breathing in and out of it if you go, I don't have much of a stomach, so your stomach distends as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're pushing down on it to push the air out. So my stomach's not there, but I'm using my diaphragm. And it goes all the way in. So it's kind of how you can see it on me. But if you just practice, I promise you, it's not hard. Hello to all the new people who are joining. I can't see names. However, I'm glad you're here. So back to breathing. Like I said, you can choose from those different breaths, but the goal is just to relax, so don't overstress yourself, please. We're just breathing here. We're not even doing yoga yet. We're okay, we're okay. Any yoga poses? No, basically. Okay, so if anyone is interested in the yoga part, we can start off with some very, very basic ones, because yoga can be very intricate, depending on what you want to do. So stretching is the most important part of moving your body. preferably when we wake up every morning. But do we do that?
No.
Barely. We stretch in bed and we're like, all right, that should be enough. And then we get up and that doesn't work because we strain and our muscles are like, what are you doing every day? So some basic stretches you want to start with, your arms and your legs. Usually arm stuff, we go up. Try to touch the ceiling. And stretch your side muscles of your arms. Then bend it back. Make sure you get all of this right here. Other side. Upper body stretches. And then of course, we know to stretch our legs, we bend over first. Making sure we get the calf muscles. Those are very, very, very important muscles. And then your hamstring as well. So when you're walking, you don't just like tumble over because it's a important muscle. So, bending down, we're getting our legs, we're getting our back as well, because this stretches out our back. And for one of my most favorite yoga poses I do all the time, while you're leaning over like this, if you want to just catch the mat and walk up and down. You get to stretch out your legs in another type of way, your buttocks, your feet, your hips a little bit. Then you just walk it back. Feel a little bit better. You can do some things now. Yeah.
My lower back always hurt.
Yeah, what I've also learned that accompanies yoga is going to a chiropractor pretty often. Because I had an adjustment and it's like my lower, he said like L3 or something, was almost stuck. So me trying to do yoga by myself was a trick because, you know, I'm leaning this way and all that, but the lumbar and stuff is just not moving. So it causes a lot of pain. So if you really feel like you got locked muscles and locked joints and ligaments, definitely see a chiropractor. And they're all running specials right now, guys. Like the one I went to, the first visit basically is free because they want you to sign up for the other visits and shit. But if you go and then you pay for the first visit, it's only $30 compared to like $100 over at a lot of other places around St. Louis. So I'll definitely leave that information with you, okay, so everybody can sign up for it. Because when I went there, the SLU mascot was there, so I was like, "What you doing, Sam?" So it's a pretty cool place. But anyway, it is a good idea to go see a chiropractor a lot because if you go to the doctor for joint pain and muscle pain, they're only going to give you medication. They're not going to be able to like actually tell you how to alleviate that pain. And they also don't tell you that that pain can trickle down into like your organs, your muscles, everything in your body could be just displaced because of one thing. So it's very important to try to do this as often as you guys can. Because once your body locks up, hey man, that's painful. It's really, really painful. So we're doing good right now. So if you've been breathing along with stretching and being mindful about what you're doing at the moment, you're doing good. You don't even have to do nothing else. That's all meditation is. We're making sure we understand what our body needs and we're listening to what it's saying and then giving it the best solution possible. Now for me personally, that would be sleep. But I don't get a lot of that anymore. So I have to make sure while I'm moving around, I'm stretching out and having my body and my hips at a point where I can still walk around because that's all I do. So while you're doing these yoga poses, please breathe in and out of them. Take a deep breath while you're moving into position, hold it for a little bit, and then you let it go when you feel like you can't hold it anymore. Here I am doing butterfly stretch for my legs to make sure I get the inner areas of right here, because those can lock up on you too, and it's not comfortable. Breathing in. Breathing out. Whew, this is tight. A side tip, I always find this fun to do with children, because they ask questions, but then they also feel like they know what you're talking about, so then they'll try to guide you through it. So then you can create a nice little banter, like, you don't know how to do that, I can teach you how to do that. No, I know how to do it. And then they do it, and then they be like, you do it. Yeah, adults don't do that. We just look at each other and we're like, okay, right. Like that, you said that, right? Yeah. Right, cool. I tried to teach a 3-year-old how to do some of these, and it turned into him taking like battle attacks and stuff from games. So I was like, yeah, let's just stretch for a second. Let's just do something, calm down, because he had been running around. I'm like, just calm down. And he looked at me, he was like, all right, we stretched 5 seconds. You want to do this? No. He ran around the table. He was like, I'm going to teach you how to hide from people. And then he just started ducking like that. And I was like, you do that from your siblings a lot, don't you? He's like, yeah. So I was like, okay, you're teaching me something, Mindfulness is pretty fun. This is really just letting your mind go to a place where you're being a kid again. You're being joyful. Nothing bothers you for real, because, as a kid, you don't have that many responsibilities anyway. So let's make sure we celebrate our inner child, and we do things for our inner child so they don't feel confined. Being an adult is stressful. Your body is telling you whatever it's telling you. I promise you're on the right path. Like when you do a certain stretch, then you realize, oh, I didn't stretch that enough. You're good. One thing that helps a couple people in the last session I did was visualization of where you want to be when you relax. So I gave an example out of most people, they think about vacation, the only time that they can relax, so they don't have anything around them, extra stimuli, stuff like that. Going to a quote unquote happy place like that in your mind and then getting lost in it is great mindful meditation technique, because you're taking the stress off of either trying to build the perfect place by just imagining it and exploring it, and you're also putting yourself energetically at a space to where you're open to it now, and then if it comes to you, the shit, you can take it, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's a vacation, I just thought about that, and now I actually get to go. Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. So the mind is a very, very, very powerful organ, and we use it way more than we think. I don't like how people say we only use 2% of our brains. That's not true. And if you did, that would be just basic breathing and making sure that the body is awake. But even when the body is awake, we are still consciously giving it signals all day long. Even though sometimes you don't go to the bathroom when you're supposed to, it still sends you that signal hey, your bladder's full. can't do too much movement, you know, like can't drink anything until this is empty. And if you decide to prolong it, then your mind is already like, okay, now I gotta prolong it. So if I'm prolonging it, what am I doing in the between time before I go to the bathroom? You know what I'm saying? That kind of noise we're used to every day. So then when you sit and you're just like, the air is pretty cool. It's a little hot. You know, I like it like that. Things around us. The walls are blue, and especially purple are used for, psychologically they're used for different things. To calm you down and to also put your mind in a place where it's like creative. So then when you do the visualizations, it's easier to do, you know what I'm saying? So there's just all mindfulness is, you're just slowing it down. Have you ever really sat and thought about just like a bird in a tree for more than 5 minutes? If you put that amount of focus into something so minuscule, you're exercising your brain. Because, I mean, we've been trained since kindergarten to multitask. So it's like, oh wow, I'm just watching this bird for 5 minutes. And then you get to see what the bird's life is like. And, I didn't even know you did all that. Like, that's crazy. And then you're connected to the bird. And then the bird is like, why are you looking at me like that? But it feels the energy. It's like, oh, you usually doing all this. You actually slowed down to pay attention to me and stuff like that. That's why dogs and cats, they be so friendly when they actually get to feel your energy. And they're just like, this person ain't got all no extra stuff going on, meaning they have time to pet me and pay attention to me. But it's a good energy, so they're just like, so what you doing? Like, did you tell me more? Because I had that happen to me, not yesterday, the day before yesterday. I was around a couple of dogs and cats, and the dog didn't even bark at me. Like, he looked at me, and I was just practicing mindfulness, looking around the room, trying to make sure I understand what was going on and stuff. And he just looked at me, he was staring at me, and I was like, what did I do? Like, did I step on you? Did I hit something? Like, I was confused. It's like, I don't want to hurt this dog, and I don't want it to attack me. Like, it looked like it was in attack mode for a second. And he was just looking at me, and he put his little whole mouth and stuff, like, right here. I was sitting on the couch. And I was like, all right, you're like 200 pounds, so I hope you don't think you're finna jump on me. But he was just like, no, I'm gonna put my head right here and see if he touched me. So I was just like, okay, I just rubbed his head and stuff. And then I did that mindfully, and I was meditating while I was doing it. So I was just, petting his head and stuff. And when I stopped, he just looked up like, what are you doing? That was cool. Like, this was an activity that we were sharing, and you stopped. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. So that's what I mean about connected to animals, because they love good energy. You know what I mean? Like, they can feel it on you. So then they're just like, I want to be here. This is a pretty good place to be. And then when I'm hungry, I'll leave. But if you got food, I'll stay. Like, that's how animals are, by the way. They're like babies, basically. So yeah, that happened with the dog, and then also with the cats that I was around too, because they saw the dog touch me, and they were like, who is this? Why is she? Who? We got pussy. So then they walked over, and I had like dozed off later that day just to take a nap. I woke up, and one cat was like snuggled up right here, and then another one was like on the floor next to where I was laying. I was just like, interesting. Where y'all even come from? Where do y'all know what's going on and all this? Like I said, meditating. They felt the energy, and they were just like, oh, they're at a peaceful place. We can come over here. As opposed to everybody else in the house who's chaotic all the time. And especially the children, because the children don't sit still. So they just be, you know, how animals babysit kids. They'll just watch them and then be like, they're not supposed to be doing that. I wonder if I should stop them now, or if I should just let them keep going. And so I was like, yeah, I just wanted a peaceful energy to be around. And you got it. Because, I mean, all I do is meditate when I'm not thinking about getting stuff done in my priorities. So I might talk a lot, but that's because when I meditate, I think about a lot. And then I'm like, bro, how do I share this with other people? And then how do they get what I'm going to say and also can relate to it? You know, I think about a lot. You know, it's just like, but meditation, a lot of people try to frame it as solely just not thinking. That's not what it is. Not all the time. Hey, guys.
Hello, how are you?
Good. But yeah, it's like, I guess people believe that all monks, when they meditate, they don't think about anything. That's not true. When you kind of gain more knowledge about science and the connection between spiritual energy and how we operate on a daily basis, you'll understand they're thinking more of like, okay, if I can just channel all my energy into meditation and then push it to a specific place, something's gonna happen. Like a Reiki. It's basically long distance acupuncture. you're tapping into people's energy from their chakras at a distance and then, healing them like that. It's kind of the same thing. So if a person decides, all I'm going to do is sit here and meditate, that means all of their energy, physically and spiritually, is going to something. They're not just not thinking anything, because that's not entirely possible. You got to get to a certain point to where you're not thinking about anything, because everything below is not relevant anymore. So yeah, meditation is pretty complex, and that's why I added mindfulness along with it, because the mindfulness helps you track where those thoughts are going. It puts it in a cohesive pathway. You're like, okay, so I understand how this works, and I'm noticing this, so then I put those together, and this is the outcome that I have. Very, very simple stuff. But when you're busy all the time, you don't necessarily get to do it. So you have to just make a little bit of time every day. I say about between 5 to 25 minutes every day is pretty substantial for making sure you're aware. You can do it in the morning. You can do it on the way to work or class. You can do it in class. Okay, don't do it in class. But you get what I'm saying. It's like you can pause your day at any time to check in on yourself and figure out how you want to keep going about the day. You know what I mean? Because I remember being an undergrad student, I didn't sleep like that. I had all of my days planned out Monday through Saturday. I worked at least 3 jobs most of the time I was in college. And outside of that, I was doing clubs, I was doing volunteer things. I was just all over the place. So I didn't get any time to myself outside of the morning to think for myself. So I started practicing that before COVID hit. I think it was in 2019. Yeah. Oof. It's almost 2022. Yeah. So a lot of this that I have developed has definitely been over time, because stress and having to just move around so much in the last couple of years, the only time that I get to decompress is when I'm practicing meditation and mindfulness. And sometimes I put on a frequency like I'm playing right now. This one is called meditation music that is psychologically cleansing. All meditation music is just playing with frequencies. We think of frequencies like hertz, so 400 hertz, 500 hertz, and above. But if you've studied music at all, you know that they kind of move up, and the sound waves change, which is why you have higher and lower frequency. So all meditation music is just playing with those notes and the range of where you could go when your mind is thinking. And then if you're not thinking about anything, or you're trying to do that, meditation music also helps you stay in that place. And then you become one with whatever you're physically around. So that's how some people end up falling asleep during meditation, because your body is actually like grounded. And once your body is grounded, your mind kind of like, it either chooses to go out or you fall asleep. Close enough to sleep as possible. But professional meditators, people who meditate all the time and they get the frequency very low in their own body, so their heartbeat is kind of like right before the REM sleep, they go other places. So it's kind of where monks are, if you can understand what I'm saying. So, all meditation music can be found anywhere. YouTube is a great source for it. It's free. They have, see, this video is like 4 hours long on its own. So, like I said, you can do it anytime. In the morning, you can do it in between things in the day. You can do it at nighttime. I used to love night yoga the best, because you're stretching out your body before you go to sleep, so you can sleep better. So. So it's been a good, we've been on here, 30 minutes-ish? Oh, I can't see the time. Okay. The next 30 we can do in silent breathing. If you fall asleep, I'll wake you up. But that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna lay down too. And okay, if I turn the lights on. Awesome. No, that's fine. That's actually perfect. That's what my camera did, that the batteries on. It was like, blink, 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 red. What are you doing? So now we're gonna do a little bit of silence for the next 20 to 30 minutes, just so you guys can understand what I mean about catching the wave of either losing your mind in visualization or being mindful enough to watch your breath during a time where you have no distractions. It's not as easy as it sounds, but if you can do it, it's pretty cool. So first, it's easiest to pick a breathing technique that you feel comfortable with. Like I was saying earlier, in the mouth, out the nose, in the nose, out the mouth, or in the nose, out the nose. Of course, you could do in mouth, out mouth, but usually that doesn't like end up being a cohesive breath with your whole body. It's just, trying to push oxygen and CO2 out. Everything else, you're actually using your diaphragm, So either one of those 3 breathing techniques, any little pose that you want to. Some people lay flat down, some people sit up, some people find a yoga pose that they can hold. Personally, my knee not gonna let me do that today. So just get in the realm of breathing. And to kind of induce a more meditative state, if you want your body to actually feel it, the same breathing techniques, you just do increasingly faster until your heart is beating kind of really fast, but then you can end up holding your breath longer because you've stretched out your capacity to breathe. So just think about that too. It's a pretty cool way to do it. So I guess it's a good thing we have water running in the background, because that kind of helps with also visualizing a happy place. I know a lot of people think about like beaches and
streams.
Yeah, or what's the word I'm looking for? Creeks.
Waterfalls.
Yeah, like if you go out in the woods and hiking and stuff, you can find some water. So sometimes your happy place can start there. You're just thinking about the water, and then you think about where am I? What am I doing? Why is this place relaxing? And once you realize, okay, I'm relaxed because of this reason, then you can start letting your body flow into the meditation. Like when you breathe, you can take a deep breath and start with your feet and think about all the energy in your feet. Think about releasing anything that you don't want to hold on to anymore and just like stretching out the muscles. But that releasing part is going to give you a heavier feeling when you're breathing. Because the next time you take a deep breath, you know what I'm saying, and you think about that and you're moving up to like your ankles, then you're like, okay, my feet are fine. They're relaxed. I don't have to move them. I don't have to think about them. So as you incrementally come up your body, you'll feel like your body's sinking into the floor because it's just relaxed, So we're gonna try to do that. And if you don't work your way up your body, that's fine too. Because like I said earlier, we're listening to our bodies and we're trying to figure out how to get the best relaxation out of it. So if your body's telling you, like at your ankles or something, stretch or needs to eat or something, then that's fine too. It's a great little exercise to follow along with though. So we're taking deep breaths in, thinking about the area of the body that we want to apply relaxation to, and then we visualize that. And once we release the breath, we visualize also letting go any stress, burdens, baggage, anything that can be attached to that muscle to why it's not working how you want it to work. So deep breath in. Deep breath out. even if your mind drifts off, just for it to have it, that's okay. Redirect it back to where you want it to go. It just it also helps with releasing the energy. You can think of it as like breathing in. If you clench that muscle or that part of the body, and then you breathe out, you let it go, you'll also feel the release as well. As you get deeper into your happy place, check on your muscles. Breathe in and out. then squeeze on your shoulder blades to the inside of your back. And hold it as long as you can. And as you breathe out, let go of that tension. Fully breathing with your diaphragm. And then just take a couple breaths to just work on your breathing. Drifts off because you're, visualizing your happy place and all the little details that you want to be surrounded with them. Even if they drift off, make sure your center of focus is back to where it needs to be. and everything relates in your mind. So, thinking about the little details of the tree that you're next to ain't a bad thing. Thinking about how many trees and what the names of them are and how they grow and are planted may be a little too far because you're off the mark. We don't have to think about stuff like that. We just think about being and existing. Because if you really think about it, that's what animals think about all the time. They don't overcomplicate a lot of things. They figure out how they fit in the world and then they move in a way that makes them the happiest. So try to have your mind on that more than a lot of stress. Just think about what can I do in the current circumstance to be as happy as possible. you're still in your happy place, just breathe till you get back here. Usually that just entails speeding up your heart rate again. So if you just gotta sit up, or drink some water, or turn on the lights or something, it'll help you decompress from meditating in a state that you've been in the last at least 20 minutes. And like I said, listen to your body. Let it tell you where you're still full of tension and stress, so you can remedy the situation and not sit on it any longer. No pun intended. So, even though this was kind of short in some of the sessions that I've been in or facilitated before, hopefully you still got a good amount of information, especially with muscle memory. If you practice what we did, it makes it easier to do it the next time. Trust me on that one. That's a lot. But yeah, we went through a lot of different practices and things to do while you're practicing mindfulness or meditation or both. Even if you want to incorporate yoga, like I said about the chiropractor, that's a great person to have on your team, because what they'll do is, like, for the first month or so that you're working with them, it'll be kind of constant, like every couple of days or so you're going in, so they can make sure everything is where it's supposed to be, and then also you're not straining yourself in certain areas. You know, some people have different things going on and stuff like that, but it's a great thing to do. Right now it's relatively cheap. You can even probably talk them down to a student plan if you're really good with negotiating. But yeah, I hope you guys can take this and use it anytime you need to, literally, in the morning, during the day, at night. At night is my favorite, even though I don't stay consistent. But it's getting there, you know. Everything takes time. Like, you're not really realistically jumping into something and being good at it and being able to keep going. That's an unrealistic expectation we put on ourselves sometimes. So taking that away and just giving ourselves time to practice and work towards mastering something, it's another feeling that relaxes you as well, I promise. Because who's gonna come back and check up on you to see if you're doing it right? You. So I'm not gonna be that person like, hey, yes, I remember you was on the live. Did you do it? So yeah. And it's October. Let Deanne and everybody else in the office know if you want to do this more often, because the last time I did it, you know, people were like, this would be great if I could get it in like a few more weeks for the next round of tests and stuff they had. So just let her know, like, I'm still living in St. Louis for the moment. And it's a great thing for everybody, because I even feel better from when I woke up this morning by doing all those stretches and stuff. It's like having to breathe, and I'm like, because I checked my phone a few times, I'm like, yeah, wow, people are still texting me. So then I'm like, I don't have to respond. My video ended abruptly, but I hope you got to enjoy it. If you made it through the overarching long haul of this video, thank you so much. Subscribe, leave a comment, like, dislike, share with anybody that you think is going to be worth it. I hope to see you back here again, and I hope to see you using these tips, not just inside meditation and mindfulness, but outside, using it in different facets of life, and just, you know, feel better about yourself. So I'll see you soon.